New revelations tonight about health complications suffered by Senator Dianne Feinstein are only adding to concerns about the 89-year-old Democrat and whether she's up to finishing out her term. Her office confirming that Senator Feinstein had encephalitis and Ramsay-Hunt syndrome during her recent bout with shingles. Brian Todd is taking a closer look for us. Brian, Senator Feinstein is standing firmly on her decision to keep working after decades of public service.
She is digging in, Wolf. Senator Feinstein displaying the same kind of toughness, some say stubbornness, that's enabled her to build a base of power in San Francisco and here in Washington.
Senator Feinstein.
Tonight, Senator Dianne Feinstein's positions on crucial committees like the Judiciary, Select Intelligence, and Appropriations panels remain intact, despite growing pressure for her to resign because of her declining health. A resoluteness that's been more than 4 decades in the making. November 27, 1978, the moment that catapulted Feinstein as a national political figure.
Both Mayor Moscone and Supervisor Harvey Milk have been shot and killed.
As leader of San Francisco's Board of Supervisors, Feinstein had to announce the assassinations of the city's mayor, George Moscone, and a popular fellow board member, Harvey Milk, at the hands of a disgruntled former board member. Her suit stained with Milk's blood after she'd tried to administer aid to him, a moment that changed the trajectory of Feinstein's own life.
She was actually thinking of stepping away from politics at that moment, but she ended up being elected mayor of San Francisco, and it vaulted her into that position.
She was San Francisco's first female mayor, a position she held for nearly a decade. Then another first. Feinstein and fellow Democrat Barbara Boxer were elected as California's first female senators. Feinstein proved crucial in getting an assault weapons ban passed in 1994. Years after that ban expired, she tried and failed to get it passed again after the Sandy Hook school massacre.
I was a mayor for 9 years. I walked in, I saw people shot. I've looked at bodies that have been shot with these weapons.
Feinstein became the first woman seated on the Senate Judiciary Committee. As the first woman to lead the Senate Intelligence Committee, many believe her crowning achievement was a 6,700-page report in 2014 on the CIA's role in torturing terror suspects. The subject of the movie The Report, Feinstein, played by Annette Bening.
Why do you need to do it 183 times?
More recently, Feinstein was criticized by fellow Democrats for praising Republican Senator Lindsey Graham's handling of the Judiciary Committee's 2020 confirmation hearings for conservative Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett. Feinstein remained tenacious through that, just as she is now with this controversy surrounding her health. The kind of grit, some say stubbornness, that's led to multiple accounts that Feinstein is demanding of her own staff.
She's very, very tough, a tough person to work for. I mean, also, again, this is a person who doesn't take vacations, whose whole life is devoted to work. I think people like that expect the same of the people who work for them.
Annie Carney of the New York Times says this current swirling controversy over Senator Feinstein's cognitive ability and her fitness to serve could hurt Feinstein's legacy. But Carney believes that if Feinstein can still help Senate Democrats push through the nominations of progressive judges who they're trying to place on the bench, her legacy will be harmed a little bit less. Wolf?
Brian Todd reporting. Thank you, Brian, very much. Joining us now, the former U.S. Senator from California, Barbara Boxer. She and Dianne Feinstein were both elected to the Senate back in 1992. They served together until Senator Boxer's retirement in 2017. Senator, thanks so much for joining us. How hard is it to hear about Senator Feinstein's ongoing health challenges? The two of you worked so closely together over so many years. When was the last time you actually had a conversation with her?
I talked with her shortly after she lost her husband, and that really threw her for a loop. And let me just say this, Wolf. It breaks your heart to see someone you really know going through pain like that. But all of this could have been avoided. She asked the Republicans on Senate Judiciary Committee to allow the Democrats to appoint someone else temporarily so that she could heal from shingles. And all these Republicans who say they care about her and they're her friends, people like Lindsey Graham, they wouldn't do it. And so all of this chaos and all of this pain has come to pass because Senator Feinstein knows she is the vote that is necessary in that committee to get the judges out to the Senate floor for confirmation. And we all know judges hold everything in their hands, whether it's Roe v. Wade to, the quality of our life to our livelihood. So she gets that. And it's rare that one person could make such a difference. And she's not about to step away at this point, although, as we know, she's not running again.
But can she effectively serve, Senator? Can she effectively serve the people of California through the end of her term, which is January 2025?
I think she's going to do it if she can. I want to make a point because I know sometimes we're living in the moment and we don't realize what has happened in the history of the Senate. But a lot has happened in the history of the Senate, and it happened in California. Wolf, I don't know. I had a memory of it and I looked it up. In 1985, Senator Pete Wilson, who went on to be governor, I'm sorry that all this is going on in the background here. Basically, Pete Wilson was wheeled into the Senate on a hospital bed. He had an emergency appendectomy. And before that, in 1965, another senator from California, Claire Engel, was wheeled in on a hospital bed to vote on a civil rights bill. And he made the difference. Pete Wilson made the difference. So it does happen. It's not pretty. It's not great. It is the way it may be. I do want to say again, all of this could have been avoided. And, people say, well, does Senator Feinstein have the ability to do it? She's been voting in Judiciary Committee. From my reports that I've heard, she gave a very cogent, remarks in front of that committee, which I think was really good. And she's going to do her best because she knows that she is needed here. So my view is she'll stay in Washington. She'll show up for the votes where she's needed and try to heal from shingles.
The California governor, your governor, Gavin Newsom, has said he would appoint an African-American woman if Senator Feinstein resigns. Are there political considerations at play right now for those who back Congressman Adam Schiff's Senate run, for example, like former Speaker Pelosi?
Well, I think those rumors are swirling around. I can't speak to them. But, it's premature because right now she's not resigning. And, for people to say, she's slipping, I would refer them to some comments made by much younger people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's a young woman who said that she believes Ruth Bader Ginsburg was propped up before she died, propped up, actually, by a double. The things that she said Walmart was trying to sexualize children because of the placement of children's toothbrushes in the store. She said there were Jewish lasers stationed in the North Pole. I could go on. You have Santos, who the Republicans just kept, who thinks that he's a Jewish volleyball player, whose mom died on 9/11, all crazy stuff. So, I think that she needs time to recover from the shingles. And I think she's back in D.C. now. And that's where it is. Look, if it were me, I would have called together my family and my doctor. But Dianne's Dianne, and she's going to do it her way.